Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are so happy to have you joining us again on the 410 Real Estate channel here as part of our family. We typically post videos like this a few times a week, but it's been a minute since we've been out around town introducing you to a local business. So before we get started, we are going to do that for you today, but go ahead and hit that like button if you like the video, but subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're made aware of when these videos come out. We'd love to have you as part of the 410 family and look forward to seeing you on a future video. Today though, we are here with Mike Lacer from NERDPOWER. How you doing, Mike?
Good.
Good. Thanks for having us here.
You bet.
This is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to hearing about your company and what you guys do. But you are the solar gurus in the area, correct?
Yeah. So I mean, there's tons of solar people, but we're a company that we want to do it right for our customers, and then we want to make relationships that are ongoing rather than a quick sale.
Yeah.
I'm building a family. I'm building a nerd family.
There you go.
One house at a time.
I was a nerd in my family. Does that count?
No.
No, that doesn't count. Okay.
But I'll get you a nerd t-shirt anyway.
That'd be awesome. See if you have one to fit this frame here.
No, we do.
Well, great. Well, tell me about yourself. About who's Mike?
Sure. So I've been living in Arizona since 1994 when I got out of the Navy. I used to do nuclear power when I was in the Navy. So fun fact, I went to school in the Navy when I was 17 years old. And by the time I was almost 20, I had already done my first nuclear reactor startup.
Wow.
Why the Navy lets you do that. Yeah. But it was hard work. A lot of studying, a lot of learning about electricity.
Can't play poker yet, but you can do nuclear power. That's
I
good.
couldn't go home and have a beer, but I could go home and study more.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, tell us about NERDPOWER. What do you guys do? I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, NERD stands for Natural Energy Reduction Design. So behind us, you can kind of see a model of a home. This would be like any home built before 2013 would probably be a project for us. So what we like to do first is reduce the amount of energy that our customers will need to use. Mm-hmm. And we do that by eliminating the waste. We have a 3-step project that goes on. It's basically an attic overhaul for energy purposes. Okay. We're going to seal up all of the roof penetrations that are allowing energy to leak between the attic and the home, making the home more uncomfortable and hotter. We're going to walk down the air handling, the duct work, and make sure that looks like it was supposed to be built when it was brand new. And then we finish
That's not
off.
right up there?
No, that's
air in the hose isn't right?
Hey, we've seen a hot mess up in the attic. And this is, Arizona builders, they slam them together quick. And that duct work is going to be there for maybe 10, 15, 20 years, maybe more before we find it. And the elements, it's so hot in there, it goes from pressure to depressure, decades go by. And now customers are just leaking cold air into their attic. Right. And that's a big portion of their bill. We want to fix that because we do solar panels. But what if we could do less solar panels on a house because the house doesn't use as much energy? Mm-hmm. We'll wrap up that first project with 14 more inches of insulation in the attic. Very nice. R38, mold resistant, rodent repellent, cotton poly blend, state-of-the-art good insulation, R38, 14 inches. That puts our home in a much better position of comfort level and energy usage. We're not done in the attic. We'll talk about some other stuff we do. We like to ventilate that attic with the solar powered attic fan, pulling in fresh air into the attic all day long, reducing attic temperatures dramatically.
I love how you explain things the way that I can understand them, and that's usually like, tell it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, right? So the way you're explaining it's like, cover up the stuff that needs to be covered up so that your heat isn't going out and the cold air is going in. Right. And start with that way you can use less power. I think one of the things people talk about a lot is I don't want solar panels all over my house. I don't like the way they look. So if you're talking about how do we minimize the number we need, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I drive around a lot and I see a lot of solar panels where it looks like somebody lost at Tetris. It looks like a whole hot mess. If we can do this with less panels because we are reducing the amount of panels we need, we can make them look sharp, look nice, stuff that the real estate agents are going to be happy to look at and sell.
So what makes you different then? You mentioned there's lots of solar guys in the area. Yeah. Besides, is this energy audit, this energy work you do at the
this
beginning,
really makes us different. But the first thing that makes us different is going to surprise you. We're in the Arizona Registrar of Contractors. We have an ROC number. So almost 8 out of 10 solar companies. That shouldn't
surprise us, right? But it does because
it should surprise you. But surprisingly, almost 8 out of 10 companies that are doing solar, they're just writing paper. They're trying to sell the least expensive equipment and then go find a contractor to install for the least expensive price. And that usually ends up being the most expensive thing you can do to your house is is doing things cheap
Yeah.
and not right.
Yeah.
So we have an ROC number, makes us different. We have a Pearl certification that is very coveted. Last check, there was 328 solar companies in Arizona. Only 3 of us are Pearl certified.
Okay.
Pearl is a network that provides a certification. It's the National Association of Realtors, Building Performance Institute, Department of Energy, Energy Star, and Appraisal Institute.
Okay.
So when we finish a home, energy improvements and solar, the home gets a Pearl certification, whether that be silver, gold, or platinum, depending on how much energy improvements we're able to do. That home gets a Pearl certification that's logged in with the National Association of Realtors, and it triggers Pearl to license an appraisal addendum through Appraisal Institute. So
awesome.
The work that gets done on the home actually gets documented as value. There's no way to document what you do to a home and say there's value unless it comes in an appraisal addendum.
Absolutely.
So it's very coveted that we're one of 3 companies in all of Arizona that maintain our certifications to a level where we can be invited into and stay in the Pearl network of contractors.
So you mentioned that there are multiple steps in your install of solar, and we looked at the house, we looked at some of the energy efficiency work you do to the attic, but tell us about, we've moved, so we're now in front of another area here, and I want to know about all these cool bells and whistles.
Yeah, so this is the main, this is the main project. The biggest part is energy production as well as reduction. This stuff requires permitting and a timeline that usually goes about 60 to 90 days.
Okay.
So we don't want to just wait for the customer to start saving money. So that's when we're doing those energy reduction projects. We don't have to get permitted to do an attic overhaul. We can start saving them money before this stuff even gets turned on. But the final part of the project is getting the solar system designed perfectly for the customer's needs and then installed and turned on for the customer.
And you mentioned the attic fan, I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah, that's your solar powered attic fan. One of those will clear out 1,300 square feet of hot attic space, and it'll pull in new fresh air coming from the gables and push that air out. So an attic is no longer allowed to get to 160 degrees and stay that way all night long.
Yeah, I can see the savings just by getting rid of the hot air, for sure.
So if we can reduce daytime and nighttime energy consumption, now we've got a solar panel system that will offset, like for an SRP customer, anywhere from 75 to 85% of a customer's energy usage. And we can do this without installing hazardous, big, very, very expensive batteries. We're reducing daytime and nighttime loads. We don't have a need for batteries that are usually going to wear out before they pay for themselves.
Makes sense. Well, very cool. I'm sure there's lots of stuff in these boxes that's way too complicated for me. And
It's really easy. Shall I go through it real fast?
Real quick.
DC power comes from your power plant.
Okay.
Upstairs, we've got an optimizer that lets all of them run in parallel. Think of a Christmas tree. If something goes wrong, the whole string goes wrong. Not with these systems that are designed properly. Comes over here to an inverter box, and this changes from DC power to AC power. That runs into the customer's photovoltaic meter. Usually we find a customer that only has 1 meter on their house, which means they have a monopoly. The power companies are only monopoly. Now they have their own power that they own that overrides this whenever possible, whenever the sun's up. And then it feeds the breaker box just like normal. When you use solar power, you don't even know it. It's just like using other energy from the power grid. What I love the best about this is our value proposition on warranties. We have an outside company, Solar Insure, that's owned by Lloyd's of London. They cover our entire warranty for 30 years worth of parts, 30 years worth of labor, 30 years worth of roof penetration. If you ever need the warranty, because this thing goes out at 14 years, this is your weakest link, new inverter, no deductible, no parts, no labor charge. What if it happens again at the 28-year point? You're covered for a full 30 years on this.
That's
warranty.
amazing.
It is amazing.
And they have a large company backing it for sure is good.
The Lloyd's of London,
Because like you said, 300 and something solar companies, the warranty for that company may or may not mean much, but they have it backed up by
we are a trusted embedded partner with Solar Insure. We had to open our books for a full 5 years to qualify as a trusted embedded partner.
Very cool.
Make sure there's no funny business on the books, nothing in the red, and then we're able to call 100% of our customer list. and inspect with their permission. So we are the only trusted vetted partner of Solar Insure in Arizona.
Okay.
There's about 150 other companies in North America. So it's a pretty elite network of who's got this Solar Insure warranty backed by Lloyd's in London. They've been around for a few centuries. I tell people a warranty is only as good as the company that backs it. What if a meteorite hits this place and we're out of business in 12 years? You know, this warranty is set for 30.
Good. So give people just kind of a 1 or 2 sentence reason. I know it's hard because you love solar. I can tell your passion behind the solar, but 1 or 2 sentences on why they should not be working with only their power provider, that they should incorporate solar in their home.
This is a monopoly, and this monopoly raised your rates probably 10% last year, depending on which company you had, and probably will do it another 15 or 20% because they're using natural gas. This is ownership. Why would you rent your house forever, right? Why would you want to make payments to rent something that's just getting more and more expensive for the same thing versus if you own it, you lock it down with really good financing. Now your power into the future always costs you the same amount, and you're paying it off when you pay for power.
It's like almost like the argument I give to people about rent versus
exactly
buy, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same principles of owning versus renting, and why if you can own it, you should.
Very, very cool. Well, my brain is full, but the main thing I love to learn about people, and the reason we go out into the community, especially in the Gilbert and Chandler area, there's so many cool business owners, business people that do things for their community. They do things beyond themselves. So the last thing I like to ask is, besides getting a paycheck from NERDPOWER, why do you like to come do what you do?
I like to come do what I do because I help people get independent. Inflation is crushing families, right? And I can't help someone with their gasoline bill or their food bill, but when that power bill hits and keeps going up and up and up. I have an elderly family that's on a fixed income, and now they have fixed power bills.
Nice.
Right? They're not prepared for what's coming at them because they're on a fixed income. I love helping these families, and then they talk to each other.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, it was great spending some time with you today. I really appreciate that you took the time out to show us all of your cool toys that you have back here, but they're not toys. I know that, but they look like toys to me because I'm not a solar guy. But we appreciate you guys checking this video out. We hope it was helpful. If it was, do me a favor, hit the share button, share this with a friend, especially on social media, so they too can learn about Mike and the team here at NERDPOWER. And again, if you like the video, hit like. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on our next video around town.